Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Wednesday, August the 30th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Start here. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. I received a couple of emails this week. Traders wanting to know where to start. Actually, and I've also received some replies to videos. Where do I start? And then they start asking about indicators, time frames. Okay, that's not where you start. Where do you start? You start here with your risk management or money management. First off, you determine how much money you're going to put in your account. Then you have to determine what percentage or how much money you're willing to lose on a trade. That's where you start. Now, I doubt most traders start there, but they wind up there sooner or later. And they wind up there before they become profitable on a regular recurring basis. That's just how it works. Now, I know you really want something more than that, but that's the basics. Because from there, once you determine how much you're willing to lose on a trade, then you determine your position size or your stop loss. I know this is probably not the answer that you were really looking for, but you asked me, where do you start? You asked me about indicators, and we'll get to those in a little bit. But I just want traders that watch this video to realize this is where you start. Okay? Now, after you do that, then what you need to do next is look in the mirror. You stand in front of the mirror, sit in front of the mirror, and you look at it. And you have to be honest with yourself. Chances are, out of these 5 fears, or 2 fears and 3 regrets, one of those is probably something you have to get control of or eliminate. Now, the thing is, we really can't eliminate emotions. I mean, unless we take some type of drug or have some type of operation. We're human. Things are going to happen, and we're going to emote. But the thing is, what you have to do is recognize when you're getting ready to emote and basically interrupt that pattern and do what you need to do in terms of decision making. And I can't tell you really how to do it, other than first you have to take the time out and recognize it. And the way you recognize it is you'll probably feel just a little bit different from just a few seconds previously, because you're in a trade and you're up, and all of a sudden it slams against you. You'll feel something in your body, and that is probably you getting triggered because the market moved against you, and all of a sudden one of these things happens. Or you see the market moving in your direction, and you maybe FOMO. Okay? And you probably don't want to FOMO. So if you're experiencing any pain, you go back to one of these 5 things and then see which one you're experiencing, which one's causing your pain, and you work on eliminating that. or minimizing it. What you want to do is make it so you can have the fear, but you don't react the same way. Because, see, it's really not what's happening, it's how you're reacting to what's happening that's matter. You know, some of you know I'm a prepper about disaster and emergency preparedness, and that's one of the things that I guess I know, quote unquote, invented, but nobody else in my, I don't know, let's see, started in the 80s, it was the 20s, almost 40 years of, you know, being a prepper slash survivalist slash, you know, prepared person. I haven't seen anybody explain it that way. And to me, that was my big breakthrough, because most people were thinking about earthquakes or fires or whatever. But the thing is, it doesn't matter what the disaster is. What matters is your reaction to the disaster. And that's the same with trading. So if the market's moving against you, what's your reaction? Is it to get out? Is it to wait? Is it to add in? So you have to determine, is that working? If not, then you need to change your reaction. And the thing about it is, when you really want to dig deep and get into the psychology of it, maybe there's something that's causing you to feel that way. But I think I'm not a psychologist. I didn't study. Wait a minute, maybe I did take one psychology class. I have to go back and look at my college report card. But anyway, that's not something that I like reading about it, but it's not something that I have any degrees in, or really lots of experience other than just, you know, world experience. Okay, so, but this is probably what you really wanted me to talk about, was a chart. So I've got an M30 chart up, and, you know, other than the buttons indicator to change time frames and pairs, it's just a blank chart. I know, you probably wanted something more, but you have to be able to read this chart, because what's an indicator? Okay, I mean, this chart is an indicator, and it's indicating, you know, open, high, low, close, if you know how to read these candles. I mean, that's what a chart is. It's an indicator. So what other indicators do you want, or what do you want those indicators to do? To tell you which way to trade? Is that what you want? To tell you where to get in, where to get out? Is that what you want? Do you want the indicators to, or I guess it would be an EA, do you want it to do the trading for you? I mean, is there some heavy lifting you want the indicators to do? Like you've got this really complex, you know, higher level math, you know, differential calculus, trigonometry, geometry, calculus, equation that you want the indicator to do. So if you get that result, it tells you what to do. I mean, I'm kind of chuckling because most people don't stop and think about what they want the indicator to do. So, you know, if you want the indicator to tell you which way to trade, what you're saying is that you haven't learned that. It's like I remember back in college, we had all these fancy, this is back before personal computers, this is back in the 70s, mid 70s. You could buy these really cool TI calculators or HP calculators. And I remember we're sitting in a class, we actually had slide rules. And I was wondering I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, do they still make slide rules, or are those companies totally out of business? I would imagine they're out of business, but I never haven't Googled to see. Point being is, if you don't understand the math, the slide rule isn't going to help you. The calculators aren't going to help you. And nowadays, the computer's not going to help you. You have to understand what it's doing. I mean, because if all you want is the quote-unquote right answer, then what have you learned? How to punch buttons on a computer or calculator, how to run the program. But then you haven't done anything, really. You're just a button pusher. I mean, so if you really want to learn how to trade, you really don't want to rely on the indicators. You want to learn something first and then let the indicator do the heavy lifting. So for example, we're looking at M30. So if I want a horizontal line right here at the M30 open, boom, right? Well, let's say I go to the daily chart. I want to insert a line. And there's the open there. And then let's say I want to insert a line at the previous day's high and low. So here's the previous day. There's the high, but you know what? Let's see. I haven't used this method in so long, but that's okay. I was going to change the color, but I don't remember exactly how to do that. And so let's put this at the low, the previous day. And then let's insert one here at the open of the previous day. So now we got some horizontal lines on the chart. So then let's just see what happens if we trade with candle color at the line. And let's just go back to that M30. Well, you know, there's the lines that we drew. And I usually start trading around the 1400 level. So if I would have put those lines in, I would have gone short, and then right here, maybe have gone short, got my fingers burned, okay, possibly. And then all of a sudden, you see this line here, this was the highest open on M30. Let's see, was it also the highest open? Highest open on H1 too, HOLO. Highest open, lowest open trade. And so their price went up. And if I would have dropped, say, down to the M5, you see, right there it went up, came back down, touched it, say, okay, take your chance, get in the trade. I mean, you could do it that way. So, of course, you could use the HL5 indicator here. And let's see. I want to show high, show low, show top, bottom, maybe, and that would be the wick zone. So I tell it to shade it true. And let's just, so we've got it, period. We had daily, just need one bar. And we need to shift it for yesterday. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to do one other thing. I need to turn it on. Okay, fellow traders, as always, it's not what you trade. It's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.